Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the Spot Show podcast. This is, of course, an independent wrestling podcast with a few pit stops along the way. Hey there. How you doing? I am your host, Jim Minton, Dickie MadBash, joined as always by the one-legged wonder, Michael Madrox, and we are coming off of one of the most fun episodes of the Spot Show podcast. I, of course, am talking about last week's episode with Madman Pondo. So if you're new here, hey, how you doing? Welcome. You're about to hear us complain. You're about to hear us complain about the Royal Rumble. So
this is the one we can shoot on everyone, right?
No. Here's what's funny about this episode is I think that we have made it clear a long time ago that, how do I put this? We don't really like wrestling. So, and I'm just saying that in a general phrase. I don't actually mean that, but like,
we have a lot of problems with it.
Yeah, we do. But we're also not one of these people that get on here and this
just
is the
bash everything.
This is the phrase of the day. Rage bait. We're not one of these people that get on here and rage bait. We're not these people that get on here and spout hot takes for the sake of clicks. We're not doing that. And we've also both kind of made it a concerted effort that, like, we really don't follow the current product much anymore. Like, I signed up so I could watch Royal Rumble because I got a wild hair up my ass. I missed the Women's Rumble. I watched everything after that, including AJ and Gunther, which don't even get me started. Like, that's going to be one thing that we're going to talk about for sure, just Rumble in general. But I find, and you did not watch.
I did not watch, which is going to make this interesting because I'm just coming off of what I see on social media.
And that's mostly what I want to talk about here today is social media responses and all of this with wrestling in general. Rage baiting. Not saying that people are actually getting on there and rage baiting, but there probably are.
Not going to be.
Not saying that everyone that has a negative opinion about what might be taking place in the current product. I begin with a story. This is a story. This is story time with Uncle Dickie. Are we ready?
Everybody gather around now.
I think I've told this story before. And if I have, stop me.
Stopped.
Dude, we're 111 episodes in. If we haven't started repeating ourselves by
exactly,
point,
dude. So
it is what it is.
This is a refresher course if we've already heard the story.
A few years ago, I had a friend. I'm no longer friends with him. It is what it is. Who he and I both were big Dragon Ball Z fans.
We just told this not too long ago.
Dragon Ball. Oh, about how it's like, brother, you're okay. So here's the story, because it ties into what we're talking about here. Whenever Dragon Ball Super was on TV, he was mostly talking about like, oh, I'm not, I don't like what they're doing. I don't like what they're doing. So then I took a step back and I was like, so then are you really a fan? Like, if you don't like what's going on, why are you still watching? Yeah. And that's basically the gist of the story is we don't like the current product, so we don't watch. So that is why we have really kind of pivoted and shifted Spot Show to where we don't necessarily talk about the current product and give reviews of it. I'll leave that to JTR.
Yeah, they're good at that.
If they want to talk about and review like episodes of Raw and PLEs and AEW and stuff like that, then go right ahead. However, I will call them out in the sense of you guys clearly don't like AEW, so why are you watching AEW? I expect a message from Menders.
Instantly, brother.
Get mad at me on that one. Let Diner do it. Let the Color Red podcast do it. Let the Gage brothers do it. You know what I mean? That's not our niche. We clearly, and this Royal Rumble proved to me that wrestling has passed me by. But here is one thing, I think, and I'm not trying to be holier than thou. I'm not trying to be high and mighty here. I'm not trying to act like I'm better than anybody.
3 weeks ago, you said you were done watching. Why would you pay for ESPN?
Because it cost me $11 to upgrade for the day, and then I just took it down. Because, I mean, it's like, it's Royal Rumble, man. Like, I'm going to watch Royal Rumble. I'm sorry. Like, I'm going to watch Royal Rumble. It's like in my zeitgeist. Like, I've not missed a Royal Rumble since 2002. And I just kind of felt like mostly I did it because I wanted to watch AJ and Gunther. That's mainly why.
Understandable.
I wanted to watch AJ and Gunther because I'm such a TNA fan. I'm such an AJ fan that it's like I wanted to see his last, what I think is only his last WWE match. I think he's going to go on a TNA run, but that's beside the point. We'll talk about that later. So back to my point here. I'm not trying to say that I'm like holier than thou and being like, well, I'm not watching and all of you are just complaining about it. Why are you still watching it if you're so complaining about it? I'm smarter than you because I'm stopped watching. No, nothing like that. But there is just a few hypocrisies, and this is a general statement. This is not, I'm saying that there is probably a bigger majority of people that don't do this compared to the people that do, because the people that are the most, what's the word I'm looking for here? The most vocal, that's obviously what you're going to see most of. I'm just saying. There seems to be a lot of discourse about this Royal Rumble. And thanks to this discourse, it has really made me kind of take a step back and analyze the Royal Rumble. And it made me think about it. And I'm not just doing it for the sake of doing it, because I have a podcast and I have to cover at least an hour and a half of audio every week. So this stuff is stuff that I genuinely am curious about. So I took to Facebook and I said, genuinely curious what people consider / want to see in a good Royal Rumble match. Surprise entrances, returns, an unexpected winner. There seems to be a lot of discourse over the last few Rumbles, and outside of crazy booking and what-if scenarios, I'm just trying to get a read on what people want. That's all I'm trying to do here.
You had what, 2 comments on that?
Huh?
You had what, 2 people respond to that?
Because I think that people genuinely don't know what they want, to be honest with you. I don't think people are ever going to be happy. And
social media proves that.
Here's one. Shout out to Harley Davis here. He says, I myself enjoy surprise entrances and someone to unexpectedly win the Rumble if it makes for an interesting match, because it also gives the expect the unexpected scenarios. Okay, Harley's right on that one. That's what we've come to expect from the Royal Rumble. Also, buddy, Travis Weir. Out of nowhere, he just pops up into our lives. He says, I always enjoy a couple returns, some nostalgia moments with legends. 2002 and 2008 Rumbles are good examples of what are good examples, but a comedy spot is enjoyable as well. He's correct. He's 100% on with this one. I don't like it's obvious what's going to happen, but can't please everyone. Okay, now, granted, what I just read These are people's opinions. There's no such thing as a wrong opinion.
No.
Because as long as you believe in your opinion, then it is what it is. Do you want to start or do you want me to start here? Because what is annoying me is there has been this narrative, right?
Okay.
That the Royal Rumble, this is what I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
The Royal Rumble was too predictable. That it's about the surprises. That it's about, we don't know what to expect.
My question is,
and they're right. They're right to a certain degree. Madrox comment.
Yeah, but like the surprises aspect of it, not if you go back and watch every Royal Rumble through history, how many actually had big surprises?
Thank you. That's my point.
Not only that, but like, how do you keep a surprise in this day and age?
Not even that, because I think at that point you're kind of splitting hairs a little bit. But the other thing, you talk about keeping a surprise. Where was Chris Jericho? Where was this? Where was that? No one ever said that Chris Jericho was going to be in the Royal Rumble. No one ever said that Bianca Belair was returning to the Women's Rumble.
Yeah, they did that all over Twitter, brother. Everybody said it, except for the people booking the shit.
Nobody said that AJ Lee was going to be in the Women's Rumble. That's my problem, is that people, that's why I made it. I was like, outside of crazy fantasy booking, people in a lot of ways, the Royal Rumble has been ruined by social media.
Absolutely. Everything has been ruined by social media.
In my opinion, the last true surprise that we got at a Royal Rumble was Edge's return in 2020.
And that wasn't really a surprise either, because there was talks about it weeks leading up to it.
There really wasn't, though. You're misremembering.
Am I?
You're misremembering. That one came out of fucking left field. Another one that came out of left field was John Cena's return in 2008.
Yes, that one was shocking.
What were we talking about when we had Oliver on a couple weeks ago? How that Rumble is up there because of the John Cena moment.
Mm-hmm.
But it's almost as if my rambling is leading somewhere. Because here's my major problem with the Royal Rumble. People do not enjoy the Royal Rumble. People enjoy the moments that take place in the Royal Rumble.
It's all about the moments, Oos.
What can you tell me outside of John Cena's surprise return about the 2008 Rumble that truly sticks with you?
The Piper and Snuka segment.
So, to what Travis Weir said.
Another moment.
A couple Legends moments.
Mm-hmm.
What else do you remember?
Setting up the feud for Taker and Michaels.
Was that 2008?
Yeah. I believe so.
That was 2007, wasn't it? Because, hang on. Maybe. I don't remember. But what I'm getting at here is that the match itself, there's never been, here's my hot take. This is what I'm going with. This is the cusp of this conversation. And it took doing that list with Oliver a couple of weeks ago, and it took seeing the discourse on social media.
And then it took going back watching the 98 Rumble, right?
Not specifically the 98 Rumble, because I did go back and rewatch a couple of Rumbles just for shits and giggles because they've been uploading them to YouTube. There's never been a good Royal Rumble match itself. And for some reason, people have rewritten history to think that that's the case. The only Rumble that, in my opinion, is truly great is the 2020 Rumble. Because here's why. The first half of that Rumble, it's the tale of two Rumbles.
Tale of two Rumbles.
The tale of two Rumbles. Brock Lesnar dominating in the first half of the Rumble, and then Edge's return in the back half once Lesnar was eliminated. That truly, in my opinion, is a good Royal Rumble. I'm taking the nostalgia glasses off because I talk all the time about how much I love the 98 Rumble. Objectively, not a fun match to rewatch, but I do because it's that comfort food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that what has happened here is that people, when it comes to the Royal Rumble, take these moments that take place in the match and equate it to it being a good match. And that's not the case.
They Mandela affect themselves.
In a way, yes. In a way.
I mean, in the 96 Rumble, though, history making, Vader was so out of it, he wore his singlet on backwards. Like, you got to give that Rumble props.
In a way. In a way. The discourse that I am seeing, though, is so hypocritical. And look, let me inside baseball here for a minute. I am fully aware of what's happening right now. We're included in the cycle of complaining about complaining about complaining. I know. We're just as guilty. However, what I'm saying here, one of the biggest complaints, there's two that I'm seeing, is people were talking about the age, the ages of the people that were in the final three of the Rumble. Are you seeing that too?
Yeah.
Then these same people, LA Knight should have won the Rumble. Finn Balor should have been in the Rumble. They're in their 40s as well. Finn Balor's 44. LA Knight is not much younger.
You got to think about it, though, Dickie. The same people bitching about, oh, we need new talent. We need new champions. We need new winners. They're also the same motherfuckers on social media going, where's the nostalgia for the Rumble?
Thank you. That's what I'm saying here, is that it is a never-ending loop of hypocrisy that I'm just tired of. This is not the reason I'm no longer watching the current product. The reason I'm not watching the current product anymore is because I just don't like the current product. I'm looking at and everyone talks these big games. But Dickie, you said that you weren't going to watch the Royal Rumble and you backpedaled. Yeah, like I said, I'm just as guilty. But guess what? I'm also probably going to watch WrestleMania. Probably. I don't know. But
who knows? We're not there yet.
But who knows? It's the same reason, in my opinion, that I don't watch football, but I watch the Super Bowl. So what's it matter? That's what I'm saying here, is that these people that grandstand, I'm boycotting the product. Are you?
They're not.
Are you?
They're just posting more Twitter shit.
That's all it is. It's just an echo chamber. It just makes no sense.
Round and round is a carousel, bro.
Yes. And maybe I'm just not meant to understand it.
That's my biggest gripe, is everyone's like, oh, we need younger talent. We need to give this developing talent a chance. Are the same people that want to not have the younger talent show up in the Royal Rumble so they can have Godfather come out and dance around for 20 seconds before getting clotheslined over the rope.
One of my big complaints that I was seeing is that there wasn't room for Finn in the Rumble, but Laparca was in the Rumble, or Mr. Iguana was in the Rumble. Wasn't everyone just marking out for Mr. Iguana like 3, 4, 5 months ago?
But here's the thing. Did Finn want to even go to Saudi Arabia?
I don't know if he did or not. I know Dominic didn't go.
I know Punk didn't go.
No, Punk was there.
Punk was there?
Yeah, Punk was there because he was on the pre-show.
Oh, I didn't see it. So, It's like the AJ Lee thing. Like, if Punk's not going, like, why would AJ go? You know what I mean?
But that you don't even know why you finished that point because
I know, but that's where I was going with it.
And there are so many other complaints that I can get into if I really wanted to about the whole Saudi Arabia thing. We may get there. We may get there because I have thoughts. But the problem, and this is also really funny because you remember the archives better than I do.
Okay.
Didn't we have a talk about wrestling fans one time?
Yes, we did.
I would be curious to go back and listen to that and hear some of the thoughts that we had about that because I'm just
I think we're just preaching to the choir at this point. Same fucking song and dance, brother.
Yeah, I agree. I just look at it, and to me personally, it's the definition of have your cake and eat it too. And I don't remember where I heard this, but I heard an idea, this concept of, well, I want this person to do this. I want this person to do that. I want this person to do that. Okay, so you want all three of these guys to be heavyweight champion at the exact same time? Like, hey,
they only do that in AEW.
I'm going to say a name right now.
Okay.
And boy, sure don't hear many people talking about Karrion Kross anymore, do you?
Actually, yeah. He just won the MLW title, so he's back up in popularity.
But what I mean about they're talking about him outside of WWE,
but not in WWE.
That I know. That I was going to say, yeah, they're still talking about him, but bring back Kross. We want Kross. We want this. We want that.
It lasted a whole month.
Wrestling fans don't know what wrestling fans want. Generally.
Okay, wrestling fans are like small children. Mm-hmm. We talked about this on Big Stupid Popcorn. The movie we just watched was spoon feeding you.
Yeah.
That's how wrestling fans like their entertainment. They want to be spoon fed. They want to be told. They say, oh, we don't want this shit shoved down our throat. But at the end of the day, that's what they're fiending for.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've seen it all before. Don't shove Roman Reigns down our throat. He's never going to be shit. A little switch of character. Everyone loves him. Biggest thing since sliced fucking bread.
Look at the 2014 Rumble. They wanted Roman to win. And then look at the 2015 Rumble. Roman won, and they hated it.
Yep.
Another thing that I don't understand about this is, look, number one Finn Balor fan right here. Number one Finn Balor fan. Love him. Incredible performer. My favorite active wrestler right now is Finn Balor. Finn wasn't going to win that fucking Rumble.
No.
So what does it matter if he's in it or not? Because I got news for everyone. Spoiler alert. I don't know if people realize this. Wrestling is not real.
What?
Yeah, wrestling's a work. So what difference does it make if he was in the Rumble or not?
Exactly, because at the end of the day, they're going to put whoever over that sells tickets.
Yeah. And what I would be curious to see is, okay, who did everyone want to win the Rumble? Who did everyone want? Do we know? Who has really said? Then people were pissed off that Gunther came out at number 30, and they're like, but you couldn't put Balor in the Rumble? And it's like, motherfucker, Finn Balor was never going to win this Royal Rumble. So what's it matter if he was in it or not? People pissed off that Dominic wasn't in the Rumble. He didn't even go to Saudi. And you think Dominic Mysterio was going to win the Royal Rumble? The one that everyone is really happy about, though, everyone liked that meme, is that Liv Morgan won the Women's Rumble. So good for her. That was cool. But in my opinion, she was the obvious pick. Now, personally, I think Io Sky is the best woman's performer in WWE right now. After her is Stephanie Vaquer, and then after her is Rhea Ripley. But I wouldn't even put Rhea Ripley that high. I think Rhea has really gotten stale, but I digest. Ultimately, what does it matter if they're not in it?
You know what they should do next year to make everyone happy?
Just not have a Royal Rumble at this point, honestly.
Put up all 30 participants like a month in advance and then let them vote for who they think should win and then have that guy go over.
But you know what, though?
They still find a way to bitch about it.
I know that you're saying that facetiously,
yeah.
But what if they actually did just tell everyone, hey, this is who is going to be in the Rumble, all 30. This is every person that's going to be in the Royal Rumble. No surprises. And look, I'm guilty of this because when we went to the 2022 Rumble in St. Louis, one of my complaints, I was like, there was no surprises. There was no surprises. But now with the ability
there was.
Cameron, brother. Cameron was Ivory, in the brother. Rumble. And Ivory. We did pop big for Ivory, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Have we told the story about how much I popped for Cameron? I think we did.
No, I think we did.
Because I was more pissed off that she got eliminated and then here came Naomi. And it was like, what the fuck? So what I don't get about it is, yeah, Finn Balor. And I'm focusing on Balor because he seems to be the big one that I'm seeing personally that people are complaining about. Balor was not in the Rumble. Cool. Okay. People were bitching that Gunther was number 30. That should have been Balor. Okay, so put Balor in the Rumble.
Yeah.
So that he can then get eliminated and lose.
So you can be pissed off more?
But he was in the Rumble. Oh, well. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know what these people want. I don't think they know what they want. You want me to be, I'm going to get spicy here, brother. This is spicy.
Dickie Sriracha is in the house.
Vince McMahon knew more than the fans what they wanted.
Yeah, absolutely.
And everyone's bitching about Triple H. Everyone's bitching about his booking, which did it start off hot? Yeah. But I remember like 2 or 3 months after Triple H took over as head of creative, there was a list of all of the things that had happened during Triple H's tenure since it was just so fresh.
Yeah.
And I was looking at it and none of it went anywhere. It was just returns. So
like Triple H tries to cater to the fans way too much.
No, I disagree with you.
You disagree?
No. Triple H tries to cater to himself a little bit too much. We know someone who has a very spicy opinion about Triple H, a very spicy hot take about Triple H and the way that Triple H presents himself. And we're going to have him on one day because he can explain it better than me about how Triple H wants to be perceived by the fans. But no, back to my original point here is, Mr. Iguana was in the Rumble. La Parka was in the Rumble. All this other dumb shit was going on. And what do you want? Do you want surprises? What do you want? Because let's be honest, here's a little thing. There are 30 guys that are going to be in that Rumble. And for the record, 30 women as well, because everything we're saying about the men's Rumble goes into the women's Rumble. It can go into the women's Rumble as well. Which, dare I say, I didn't get to watch the whole women's Rumble. I watched the opening and I've seen clips. I think the women's Rumble was booked better than the men's Rumble this year, but what do I know? There's 30 men and women in the Royal Rumble match. Only one can win. Only one can win. So what does it matter if this person is or isn't in the Royal Rumble? Because ultimately, you've got to look at it and be like, okay, realistically, who's going to win this Rumble? Going into a Rumble every year, there's realistically only a handful of people that are actually going.
I would say four.
I was about to say five. So I would say anywhere between like 2 to 5. Somewhere in there that are realistically going to win. This year, I actually am genuinely shocked that it was Roman that won. I didn't see that coming. I really thought that we were going to get another Cody win. I had that feeling. But that's not what we got. To be honest with you, I'm going to tell you one of the biggest missed opportunities that they had.
Jey Uso. Yeet.
Don't even do. We're going to get into that. But I'm going to tell you some of the stuff that I did like about the Rumble. But first, let me remind you that this is, of course, the Spot Show podcast each and every week. Michael Madrox and I get together and we talk about the wacky world of independent wrestling and everything in between. If you like what we're doing here, if we haven't upset you too much with our hot takes about the Royal Rumble, you can, of course, go on over to patreon.com/MadBash Studios. Back us at the $5 tier. There you're going to get all of our content early and ad-free, as well as some exclusive shows. But not everyone has money sometimes. Sometimes you don't have the extra money that you can toss our way. I get that completely. Go to your favorite podcasting platform. There you can leave us a 5-star written review. Go on over to the YouTube channel. There's also the podcast feed is over on the YouTube. Leave us a comment, leave us a like, leave us a subscribe. Go to the Facebook page, leave us a like, give us a share on the stuff that you see over there. That really helps us grow. And you can find links to all of that over at MadBashStudios.com, your one-stop shop for everything MadBash Studios related. We got a couple plug skis for you here. Available on the $10 tier right now is the newest episode of Big Stupid Popcorn. Michael Madrox alluded to it earlier. This month, we watched Mob Town starring David Arquette, and we gave it our review, ranked it amongst the other movies in the first season of Big Stupid Popcorn. We got some really exciting stuff going over there on the Patreon, patreon.com/MadBash Studios. But here's the thing. If you're not on Patreon, that means that you are about to hear a word from our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by Venom Energy. Hey, we've all been there, and there's nothing wrong with admitting to it. Well, what I mean is that we've all hit that midday slump, and we all need a little push to get us through the rest of the day. Well, what better option to give you a pick-me-up than one of the wonderful flavors of Venom Energy? Venom is what gets Mad Bash through those long show days, and we know that it can do the same for you. I'm going to sweeten the pot a little bit for you too. Yeah, come to our merch table when you see us at a show, and with the purchase of a Mad Bash Wrestling sticker or magnet, you get a Venom Energy drink on us. While supplies last, of course, so you better act quick. We'd like to thank Venom again for sponsoring this episode. Please consume responsibly. Not recommended for children under 18, pregnant or nursing women, or people sensitive to caffeine.
Dickie Wabash.
Oh my God, I was getting ready to wrap.
I know, I'm throwing you off here, brother.
You're throwing me over.
This is the Michael Madrox hot take now. I want to take a little break from the Royal Rumble, if you will.
Okay.
You know, everyone's got their TikToks and their Facebook Reels and everything, right?
Yes.
I've been seeing a lot of stuff coming from wrestling fans on there.
Okay.
I'm talking about cosplayers. And cosplayers being unhappy with the interactions they're getting from all these superstars, man. And I think I have figured it out.
So hang on. When you say cosplayers, do you mean people cosplaying as wrestlers?
Yes.
Specifically, so wrestling cosplayers?
Yes, wrestling cosplayers.
I have no clue where this is going. I've never seen this.
Dude, it's been popping up. Like, there's pages like the Macho Verse. This dude dresses up like Macho Man for fucking everything.
Oh, that I've seen. Yeah, that I've seen.
Goes to his meet and greets, and then he's like, well, this person didn't give me the experience I really wanted. And Dusty Rhodes and, all these guys.
Oh, I kind of see where you're going with this. Yeah.
I have figured it out, though.
Sorry. Yeah.
And Detective Michael Madrox is on the case.
Okay.
Imagine, if you will, me and you have been friends, forever.
20 years at least.
And say 40 years down the line, one of us die and we're at a convention signing autographs.
It'll
right?
be you first, let's be honest.
Okay. How are you going to take it if like 5 people come up to you dressed up like fucking me and they're like, hey, I'm dressed as your dead friend. Make this memorable for me.
I'm going to go a way that I don't think that you're going to expect me to. I wouldn't have a problem with that.
You wouldn't have a problem with that?
No. What I would have a problem with is people expecting a certain interaction out of it, because the way I'm looking
that's what
at
I'm
it
saying.
Is that it's cool that it's like, look, you're wanting to pay tribute to someone that means a lot to you, but to
actually go out and try to act like that person in front of you and try to get that like conversation going and trying to force it upon the person, it's just so awkward to watch.
Yeah, I get that.
I don't know, man. It's just been bothering me. Like, the more I watch them and the more I think about them, because it's always like people dressed up like Scott Hall for Kevin Nash. You know what I mean?
Now that one's a little different, I think.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's your best friend for 50-some years, and you got this guy coming up and you expecting you to be like, click this, brother.
Let me also completely kind of flip this conversation upside down a little bit here.
Okay.
It's circumstantial. I think it's circumstantial. I can give you my opinion of how, if I was in that situation, how I would feel. But I can't sit here and say that Kevin Nash should feel one way or feel another way.
I'm not saying they should feel one way or any way. I'm saying the fans shouldn't feel entitled to have.
No. I agree with
that
you.
moment.
I know. Yeah. I think it's a sense of entitlement with a lot of these
Exactly.
people. Now, I may be labeled a hypocrite in this regard, in this way, because I have told a story many times in the past about how I met someone at a convention. It was the voice of Krillin from Dragon Ball Z, and it was an awful experience.
But were you wearing his dead friend's skin suit?
No, I was not. But what I'm getting at here is that this is where it's a little bit different. So I, in a way, was kind of expecting a certain interaction, and he didn't give it to me because, and I did nothing wrong to this guy. I'm not saying that when you meet a celebrity at a convention that you are entitled to a good interaction with them. I think that a lot of the responsibility also falls on the way in which you act. Do you see what I'm saying here? So if someone is being a dick and being an asshole, then they have no right to be like, oh, well, so-and-so treated me like this. That's why when I met the voice of Krillin, that's why I was a little bit annoyed, because I was nothing but cordial with him. I was very polite. I was all of this. I was all of that. He was just a dick. And maybe he's not a dick naturally. Maybe that day was just a bad day. But it's also like, motherfucker, I just paid $80 to get well, actually, no, it's a lie. I just paid $40 because I didn't pay for the combo because I didn't want to get a picture with him because he's being a dick. I just paid $40 to get you to sign this. You know, you should at least give me a little something. Is that making me entitled? A little bit, because I'm paying for an experience. But I'm also not coming in there and acting like a complete fucking asshole.
You're not acting like a tool.
I'm not acting like a tool. I'm just a guy that simply paid his money, and I'm expecting with that money that I'm going to get a certain experience. That's why you really got to look at a situation before you fully break it down. And that can go into any number of things, to put it bluntly. Do you see what I'm saying here?
I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, like, technically you paid for an autograph. You didn't pay for anything other than that. You know what I mean?
Okay, you're getting ready to go to a convention coming up here.
Yeah.
What are you going to do if Jack Osborne's an asshole?
I expect him to be. It's Jack Osborne.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
You know what annoys me about you?
What?
This is so many things that annoys me about you. You expect me to give you an answer on something, and then I spin it on you, and you just go, "Oh yeah."
Like, I don't go into these expecting shit. Like, I know I'm going there and I'm paying for an autograph.
Yeah.
If they want to sit and chat with me, that's cool. If not, no biggie.
Oh yeah, that
I get my shit autographed. I'm out. I'm not gonna bitch about you or nothing like that. Like, I'm not gonna make fucking 16 TikToks following up talking about how you wouldn't too sweet me because I offended you for wearing your best friend's skin suit.
Is this something? Did this specifically happen?
Yeah.
Is this okay? So this really, I was like,
I've been seeing that happen a lot lately.
But okay, give me a specific example. You're talking about someone dressed as Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash was upset.
Yeah, the dude just went up, started like talking like Scott Hall, like basically just cut a promo on Kevin Nash, like a Hill promo as Scott Hall, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then Nash didn't too sweet him or nothing like that because Nash was like, the fuck you doing? You know what I mean? Like, and that shows in the video clip, like the person before sitting there talking to Nash, shaking his hand, sharing some meatballs from IKEA. You know what I mean?
Swedish
and this guy just comes up, he's a fucking dick, and then he's like, 3 TikToks later, Kevin Nash is a fucking piece of shit, didn't want to interact with me and all this crap. It's like, dude, come on.
Now, see, in that scenario, that guy is the problem.
Yes.
But it's a circumstantial situation.
Yes.
You've spun it on me. Would I be upset if someone comes dressed as you? It depends on how they act. But maybe Kevin Nash, not to put words in his mouth, maybe Kevin Nash just is, because clearly he's very hurt by Scott Hall's death. He was very close to him.
Exactly.
Maybe even if this guy wasn't doing what he was doing, maybe Kevin Nash wouldn't be into that. And honestly, that's fine.
You can't fault him for that.
No, not at all. I can't fault him. But it goes back to the sense of entitlement.
That's my major point here. The entitlement with like just fans in general around every fucking thing now, man. It's not just in the wrestling world, it's cosplay, conventions. Like, why are we so entitled to anything?
That's like a double-edged sword, man.
I know how I was brought up, how you were brought up. Like, shit just doesn't get handed to you. You want something, you work for it. What happened to that mindset through social media?
Man, I don't know. That's a tough one because I think, man, this is a deep.
We're going deep, brother.
I really wasn't fully prepared for here. I don't
know if this is the NyQuil talking, because pull back the curtain, Michael Madrox has been under the weather, baby, and I've been drinking a 5th of NyQuil a day. You dare me to drive? You know what I'm saying? But like, this shit's just been weighing on me this week, man, and it's wrestling fans that have like started triggering it. I'm like noticing and nitpicking and dissecting all this hatred and entitlement and anger, and I just don't get it.
We know someone. I was debating if I was going to tell this story or not.
Yeah.
We know someone who went to a meet and greet, and it was with Danhausen.
Uh-huh.
And he was upset that Danhausen wasn't in character when he met him. Now, double-edged sword. because there is a little bit of entitlement there. But if you're Danhausen and you're playing a character,
you should be in the gimmick.
The people are paying to meet your character.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to dehumanize anyone in any way, because people that play characters are so much more than their characters. Do you see what I'm saying here?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it gets a little tricky for me personally.
I don't know. If you advertise the meet and greet as the character, you should be the character.
I remember,
if that makes sense.
Yes. Oh, 100%. When we, this is early spot show, you hit up people to give us, this is so-and-so, and you're listening to the Spot Show podcast. That was the old intro back in the day. You hit up Congo Kong and he did it completely out of character. And it's like, cool. Thank you, Kong, for doing it. But it's like, but no, I get it. I get both sides, because I don't know, man. This is one I'm gonna pull a Madrox on this one. I just really don't have an opinion on it, to be honest with you. I mean, I see both sides. Now, the fan who is complaining about Kevin Nash being a dick, give me another example here. Was there? Oh, I'll give you an example, actually. Okay. I'm going to shut up here. Fans that wait in airports.
Yes.
And then expect a certain interaction with them.
Hey, can you sign these 58 Funko Pops?
Yeah. I'm going to give you an example, and it has nothing to do with wrestling.
Yeah.
There was this show that was on Netflix. And, well, first of all, it was a documentary. It was a documentary called Hot Girls Wanted. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
No.
It was about the porn industry, and like girls getting into the porn industry is what the documentary was about.
Okay.
Young girls, how talent scouts find them. It's actually, it's disgusting, frankly. But
you only watch this for education purposes, right?
It's actually genuinely a good documentary. But like these, and I'm not trying to get on a big fucking high horse here, but it's like these talent scouts know who to target. They know who to target, and it's unfortunate. But so then that spun off into a docu-series that was on Netflix. And we meet a cam model who, one of her top fans is from Australia. And they have developed a relationship over time. He's one of her top guys, always pays her really good, pays for private time, pays whatever. So much so that they have developed an interpersonal relationship. So much so that she travels to Australia with the connotation of, and the implication that we are going to hook up. And she gets there and she keeps talking about how the problem that she's facing is that she needs to be in her cam model character, her chipper and happy all the time. And it's genuinely draining her. Like that she's got to be, because he's
like emotionally and physically.
Yes. Because he's expecting a certain interaction with her, and he's expecting her to be in,
not her actual self,
in gimmick. Yeah. So that's where you feel bad for her, because it's like, I get it. You're more than what you portray on camera. You see what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
That's why there is no difference between Josh and Dickie. If you're talking to Dickie, you're getting Josh, and if you talk to Josh, you're getting Dickie. At this point, there's no Dickie Wabash is not a character; it's just a name that I am using. I could take bookings as Josh Thomas, but Dickie Wabash is a far better. It's the same reason that
it's got more stock.
It's the same reason that Red Velvet gets booked as Red Velvet and not Evan. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's the reason that it's not Mark Redman and
see, like me on the outs of my fucking career, like Michael Madrox, that's just Dustin Flowers now at this point. Like I used to be very character based.
Yeah, same.
And now I'm just here.
Yeah. And I don't really know what my point was with this, but I mean, it kind of ties into the thing of like, if you have to play this character all the fucking time, it can get pretty tiring. So to bring it back to the interaction this fan had with Danhausen, I don't really blame Danhausen, but at the same time, I also kind of don't blame the guy for being a little upset that, but at the same time, I mean, Danhausen did the curse.
I'm saying with that whole story, dude, is if Brian Pillman sits next to you, make sure you got your phone ready. We'll just leave it at that.
Hang on, what?
The whole Danhausen. There you go. EPW. Yeah.
Hang on. I don't remember.
You don't remember?
Oh, I know what I'm talking about now. I know what. Okay. Yeah, you're making a very specific reference.
Yes,
is one of the funniest things in the world to me. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that just took me a minute. That took me a minute.
Telling you, dude, those NyQuils give me superpowers.
But no, man. I mean, I think a lot of it is a sense of entitlement, but then it goes back to, was this guy tricking himself because he was giving this girl so much money and she was only friendly with him because he was giving her money, or was she leading him on? I mean, who's right and who's wrong?
I think they're both wrong at that point, man.
I don't think that there really is anyone right, but at the same time, we're also people that put out content and expect money.
Different industry, brother.
Different industry, but
different
I mean, it's
couch.
A lot of it, yeah. We're not on a black leather couch. You see what I'm saying here?
Mm-hmm.
We also don't exploit young, impressionable people, but no, I think that it all. But then and maybe that was an extreme example. I tend to use extreme examples sometimes, but I mean, ultimately, I mean, it's same. I mean, it's just a more extreme version of it. You know what I mean?
It's just, I just don't get the whole entitlement with fans anymore. And it's becoming so out of control, man. So fucking out of control. And now they got this voice of social media where, like, anything, they try to bury anyone over the slightest, stupidest shit that they don't feel entitled to. What happened to just being a fan?
Thank you. That's a very good way to put it. And I am about to say something that is probably the hottest, spiciest take that I have ever heard. And bluntly, I don't think anyone has ever made this statement. So I might be the first one that's ever made it. So timestamp this. Social media is the best and the worst thing to ever happen to society. Oh,
wow, I've never heard that before.
How is it I'm the first one that thought of that? That's crazy. That's crazy.
You should make a chat room just for that.
I know. I need to put that out there so that people can hear my opinion. No, I think that, to bring it back to Royal Rumble, I mean, it goes back into, it's almost hypocritical, might be a little bit too extreme. But I think that it is kind of germane to what we're talking about here. Is, you say that you want younger people in the Royal Rumble to be given a chance, but then Finn Balor is 44 and you're complaining about people who are in the same age bracket as Finn Balor being in the Royal Rumble, but Finn Balor's not in it, so it's okay. It's like, you can't have your
cake. What that's like, brother?
What?
That's like pulling something expired out of the fridge and taking a bite and you're like, oh, that went bad.
Yeah.
After checking the date.
Yes, it's exactly like that. It's like pulling a gallon of milk out, looking at the date, going, "Oh, that's a few days expired," then taking a drink and going, "Oh, how to." It's the meme. It's the meme of the guy riding the bike and then he puts the stick in
yes,
and then flips himself over. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. I don't think fans are ever going to be happy. But then I maybe I just need to look. Maybe the times are just a changing, and I've
speaking of
I've outgrown
changing,
it. But no. But what I'm saying is that maybe the definition of a fan has changed, and I just haven't. I don't see it. I don't know.
speaking of times changing, though, I don't know if you know this or not, but sit back on your little high horse here. With AJ Styles retiring from WWE, we are down to one last active wrestler from the WCW.
Let me think. Oh, Rey Mysterio.
Exactly, man. Ain't that crazy to think, though?
Wow. There's that.
Like, I know it's been years, but like to me, WCW feels like a couple weeks ago.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but man, that is so weird to see. There's that picture going around from WWE magazine, and I remember the magazine because I had it. I've told my WWE magazine subscription story before, right?
Most likely. If not,
Okay.
hash it out again, brother.
Well, we were just talking about this. I'll get to it in a second. But anyway, it's that picture of the 08 roster all lined up like they're in the locker room getting dressed.
Yes.
And the ones that have retired are like blacked out. And the only active ones, I think, are Jeff Hardy, Ray, Orton, Jericho, and maybe one other, but I don't think there is another one. I think that it's
Miz.
Miz wasn't in that photo. Miz wasn't in that photo because in 08, Miz wasn't a big deal, really. Let me WWE 2008 roster photo.
It's the SmackDown roster, ain't it?
No, it's the whole roster.
Oh.
Yeah. So from left to right, it's Batista, Umaga, Flair, JBL. They're all gone. Well, I mean, Umaga's the only one that's passed. Michaels, Finley, Cena, Trips. So every single one of them are gone.
Yes.
They're not wrestling anymore. Then it's Jeff Hardy active, Randy Orton active, Taker inactive, Ray active, Big Show gray area. Yeah. Jericho active, Edge active, and MVP again gray area. That's crazy to think about, but also this is a fucking stacked roster right here.
Speaking of inactive, you see Sandman's having his last match.
Little tear came down my eye. Yeah, Sandman's retiring, man. To me, that means more than John Cena's retirement run, if you ask me. But no, I had a fucking point and I forgot it. I don't know. Yeah, it's weird to look back and be like, damn. Especially with AJ leaving, because like AJ, we have been very vocal about the fact that we have always been more TNA guys. We've always been huge TNA fans. And AJ is, the word GOAT gets thrown around a lot. But AJ Styles truly is one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time. I really do believe that.
Absolutely.
Of all time, bar none. He's on the Mount Rushmore. But yeah, AJ leaving, I mean, and we're kind of getting to time here, so maybe we'll save the AJ discussion for paid
show.
But what are your thoughts on him being? I actually, real quick before you get into it, I saw something that people were like, he didn't get the retirement run that he wanted, and it's like, well, actually, he was in the retirement run and we just didn't realize it.
He never announced it.
He announced it,
but like WWE never acknowledged it.
He's
been all last year. He's like, this is my last year.
No, he said 26 was his last year.
Yeah.
But I mean, he really was in his retirement run. He had the tag title run with Dragon Lee. He had the match with Nakamura. He had the match with Cena. He had a few other matches in there. The match with Balor. A few other ones in there. And it's like he was on his retirement run all along, guys. We just didn't realize it.
Do you think he's just retired from WWE?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, he's going to go to
AJ's got too much respect for the business not to leave those shoes in the middle of the ring.
That's why he put the gloves back on. That's 100% why he put the gloves back on. I know he's going to go to TNA, and he's going to go over there, and he's going to have his matches with like Kazarian. He's going to have
Santana.
Yeah, he's pretty much going to have. He's going to pass the torch. I think AJ is going to get a good mixture of passing the torch and working guys.
You're going to run it back, him and Hardy.
I could see that, actually. I could see that. Man, that would be a fun one to fantasy book AJ's TNA farewell, but I don't know.
That's a paid show too.
We could, man. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. I mean, like I said, ultimately, the bow on this episode, I think, is because usually I think of the title of the episode as we're in the midst of the episode. I think it's just the entitlement of wrestling fans. I could just be like, are wrestling fans too entitled? And I think that to summarize it, because we're getting near the end here, just a simple one-word answer. Yes, I think wrestling fans have become very entitled.
Yeah, absolutely, hands down.
Yeah, and good to know we're on the same page there, because
even us, we're entitled because we're not even watching it.
I think everyone a little bit, yeah, and it's like we're not even watching it, and we felt the need to fucking grandstand on it and be like, we're not watching. It's like, look, that doesn't make us any better than anyone. I mean, I'm not trying.
No, we're still fucking entitled, but
everyone has a little bit of entitlement in them. And if they tell you they don't, they're lying to you. I think everyone has a little bit of entitlement in them. It's just if you keep yourself in check enough. You see what I'm saying?
Entitlement and ad nauseum.
Yeah, ad nauseum is the proper word there, by the way. So
not cool, brother.
All right, Madrox, what do you say we hop on out of here? This was a good little discussion.
It's a great discussion, Dickie Wabash.
Yeah. So, thank you so much for joining us. It really means a lot to us that you feel the need to take the time out of your day to give us a listen. Again, if you like what we're doing here, the big plug, MadBashStudios.com. If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can find me at DWobs with a Z Card Shop. Michael Madrox, you can find him on Instagram at the word 1 and then the number 900-909-9900. Like I said,
timeout.
Yes.
Breaking news.
Yeah.
The boys over at Long Live Evil have granted me a copy of their new album to give away to the first person to comment on this week's episode on the Facebook page. LLE gets a free album.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll make that announcement over on the Facebook page. Be the first one to comment, and you are going to get a free LLE album. Hell yeah, man! That's pretty cool. That's
cool. We're gonna throw that in there at the end to make sure people are actually listening and paying attention, not throwing it out there at the beginning. You know what I mean?
So we're gonna go ahead and hop off here. For those of you over on the Patreon, we will see you on Paid Show. But for everybody else, we'll see you down the road on some form of content.